You may have seen the headline, 4 vitamins you should never take after 60. Sounds urgent, right? And with numbers like 40% higher risk of early death thrown in, who wouldn't panic? But here's the thing. As someone who's spent decades caring for older adults, I've seen how fear-based advice, without the full context, can do more harm than good. A video like that might get millions of views, but what if it convinces you to throw away a supplement your body actually needs? Or worse? What if it pushes you into sudden changes without proper guidance, risking your nerves, bones, or even your heart? Yes, some vitamins can build up and become toxic if misused. That's true. But the human body is more complex than just a never take this, always take that checklist, especially after 60, when everything, your liver, kidneys, nerves, needs a tailored, careful approach. That's why I couldn't stay silent. I watched that entire video, and while they made some valid points, there are serious gaps, overgeneralizations, and misleading recommendations that I believe you deserve to understand better. So in today's video, I'm breaking it all down, point by point. If you've ever wondered whether your daily multivitamin is helping or hurting, stick with me. Let's clear the confusion, together. And if you care about your long-term health, tap that subscribe button. It tells me you're serious. I've heard this one more times than I can count. Doctor, should I throw away my multivitamin because it has vitamin A? And honestly, I get it. The original video makes vitamin A sound like a slow poison, especially in the form of retinol. And they're not entirely wrong, but they're also not entirely right. Here's what they got right. Yes, vitamin A in the form of retinol or retinol palmitate can accumulate in the body, especially in people over 65. Unlike water-soluble vitamins, this one is fat-soluble, which means your body stores it in your liver and fatty tissues. And if you keep taking high doses over time, especially from supplements, it doesn't just vanish. It can build up and lead to toxicity. That part is true. But here's the part they didn't tell you, and it's a big one. Most people aren't overdosing on vitamin A from food. They're overdosing because they're stacking supplements without realizing it. Taking a multivitamin with retinol, then adding a liver-based capsule, then eating fortified cereal. It adds up, but the real danger isn't the vitamin A itself. It's taking it in the wrong form, in the wrong dose, for the wrong reason. And that's where the message in the video becomes dangerous. Because now I see seniors throwing away perfectly good supplements. Or worse, avoiding vitamin A completely. And that's not just unnecessary, it's harmful. Your body still needs vitamin A for your eyes, your skin, your immune system. You just need to get it from safer sources, like beta-carotene, found in sweet potatoes, carrots, spinach, and eggs. Your body only converts beta-carotene into vitamin A when it needs to. That's the beauty of it. It's self-regulating, no overdose, no liver strain, just natural balance. So if your multivitamin contains retinol and you're over 65, yes, it's time to look closer. Check the label. Anything over 700 micrograms per day for women or 900 for men is likely too much if you're already eating vitamin A-rich foods. But don't throw out vitamin A completely. The video's warning is helpful, but like many warnings, it's incomplete. And if that already made you question your morning supplement, just wait until we talk about iron, because this one is far more common and much more dangerous if misunderstood. Now this one got my attention fast. Iron is dangerous after 65, the video says. And I agree, partially. Yes, iron can be harmful in older adults, but only under certain conditions. And sadly, the full story rarely gets told. Here's what they got right. Iron isn't something your body flushes out easily. After 65, especially for men and postmenopausal women, the body doesn't lose much iron anymore. So if you keep adding iron just in case, through a daily multivitamin, iron-fortified foods, and extra pills, it starts building up. Too much iron can cause something called oxidative stress, which essentially rusts your organs from the inside. That's real science. But here's where I start raising my eyebrows. What they don't tell you is this. Some seniors actually need iron, and if you scare everyone away from it, you risk missing anemia, chronic fatigue, and weakened immunity. There's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to iron. Your body's needs depend on your medical history, your diet, and yes, your blood work. What worries me is when patients come into my office and say, "Doctor, I stopped all iron supplements because a YouTube video told me to." Meanwhile, their lab work shows iron deficiency, and they're barely functioning. So what's the safe path? Here's what I recommend to my own patients. Never take iron without testing. If you feel unusually tired, weak, or short of breath, ask your doctor for a serum ferritin and transferrin saturation test. If you don't have anemia or a clear iron deficiency, then yes, ditch the iron. Look for a multivitamin that says iron-free right on the label. But if you've had blood loss, ulcers, or chronic kidney issues, don't blindly stop iron. You may actually need it, and avoiding it could make things worse. The bottom line? Iron is like fire. It can warm your house or burn it down. It's not the supplement that's the problem. It's the context. And sadly, videos that leave out that nuance end up hurting the people they're trying to help. Now, speaking of minerals that might be hurting more than helping, let's talk about calcium and why the bone health marketing you've seen for decades might be quietly aging your heart. Calcium. It's been the gold standard in senior bone health for decades. You see it everywhere, from milk cartons to senior multivitamins plastered with promises like stronger bones, prevent fractures, and essential for aging. But let me ask you something no one's ever told you out loud. What if your calcium pill isn't helping your bones, but quietly damaging your heart? Now, in the video, they rightly pointed out something few people realize. As we age, our bones absorb calcium less efficiently. So that extra calcium you swallow, it doesn't always go to your skeleton. It can drift into your arteries, your joints, even your kidneys. And that's where the real danger begins. They also mention artery calcification, which is true. I've seen CT scans of seniors with calcium buildup in the wrong places. It doesn't take much to block a vessel and trigger a stroke or heart attack, especially after 65. But here's where their warning becomes one-dimensional. They suggest cutting out calcium supplements altogether. No mention of balance, no mention of cofactors, no mention of what your body needs alongside calcium to actually direct it properly. Let me set the record straight. Calcium is not the villain. It's the missing teammates that cause the misfire. Without vitamin D3 and especially vitamin K2, your calcium has no GPS. It gets lost and ends up where it shouldn't be. Imagine trying to deliver a package in a city with no map. That's what calcium does in the body without proper guidance. So if you're taking 500 to 1,000 milligrams of calcium daily and you're not pairing it with D3 and K2, you're not protecting your bones. You might be setting your heart up to fail. What do I recommend? Get most of your calcium from real food: leafy greens, almonds, yogurt, chia seeds, sardines with bones. These give your body what it needs, in a form it knows how to use. If you still need more, fine, but never take calcium alone. Always combine it with D3 and K2, and ideally under medical supervision. The truth is, fractures kill, especially in old age, but so do strokes. And you don't have to trade one risk for the other. If your doctor has you on calcium, ask them, "Am I also getting enough K2 and D3 to keep this calcium where it belongs?" And now that we've talked bones and arteries, let's head to a surprising one. A vitamin that's supposed to help your nerves, but can actually destroy them quietly over time. We're talking about vitamin B6, and this one? Even I was shocked by how many patients were overdosing, without even knowing it. Let me start with a simple question. Have you ever felt tingling in your hands or feet? A strange burning in your soles? Or maybe a loss of balance you chalked up to age? Well, what if I told you? It might not be just getting older. It might be vitamin B6 toxicity. Now, the video raised a fair point. Vitamin B6, although water-soluble, doesn't always behave like other water-soluble vitamins. When taken in high doses, especially over time, it can accumulate in your nerve tissue, and once it builds up, it turns toxic. They were absolutely right to point this out. In fact, I've seen patients diagnosed with neuropathy or early-stage dementia, only to discover they were simply over-supplementing B6. But here's where I take issue. The video makes it sound like any dose of B6 is dangerous. That's not true. And if you walk away fearing every supplement that contains B6, you might miss out on a vital nutrient, especially if you're low. So let's clear this up. Your body does need B6. It helps with neurotransmitters, red blood cells, immune function. It's essential. But like with calcium, the dose matters. And so does your personal situation. Here's the danger zone. When you're taking 50 to 100 milligrams daily from multivitamins, nerve supplements, and energy drinks stacked together, that's when trouble begins. Add in slow liver clearance after 60, and it's a perfect storm. So what's safe? You only need 1.5 to 1.7 milligrams per day. That's it. And most of us get that easily from foods like chickpeas, tuna, turkey, bananas. If your supplement has more than 10 milligrams of B6 per serving, check again. Unless you've been diagnosed with a deficiency, there's no need to go higher. And here's the catch. B6 toxicity doesn't show up overnight. It creeps in. A little numbness here, a little foot pain there. By the time you notice the signs, the damage may already be done, and recovery is slow, especially after 60. So if you're experiencing symptoms like burning feet, shaky balance, or numb fingers, don't just assume it's old age or diabetes. It might be your vitamins. Get your B6 blood levels tested, especially if you've been taking high-dose nerve or brain supplements for months. And if this surprised you, you're not alone. Even most doctors overlook B6 toxicity, but now that you know, you can act. Because coming up next, we finally shift gears from the dangerous 4 to the ones your body actually needs every single day after 60. We'll start with a mineral that's quietly missing from nearly every senior's bloodstream. And fixing it could improve your sleep, mood, muscles, and even memory. Let's talk about magnesium. Let me ask you something. Have you ever struggled to sleep at night, felt your muscles cramp without reason, or dealt with a constant sense of anxiety, even when life feels calm? It might not be stress. It might not be aging. It could be magnesium deficiency, one of the most common, yet most underdiagnosed issues in seniors today. Now, the video gets this one mostly right. Magnesium is essential for over 300 enzyme reactions in the body. It helps regulate your heartbeat, calms your nervous system, and supports muscle and brain function. And yes, after 60, your body absorbs it poorly and loses it faster, especially if you're on medications like diuretics, blood pressure pills, or acid blockers. So far, so good. But here's where I need to step in as a doctor. It's not just about taking magnesium. It's about taking the right kind, at the right dose, for the right reason. You see, many people rush to the store and grab magnesium oxide. It's cheap, easy to find, and barely absorbed. Worse, it often causes diarrhea or stomach upset, which leads some seniors to stop taking magnesium altogether. Here's what I recommend instead. Magnesium glycinate, gentle on the gut, calming for sleep and anxiety. Magnesium citrate, good for mild constipation, better absorbed than oxide. Magnesium malate, supports energy production, ideal for muscle pain or fatigue. The ideal dose for seniors? Around 250 to 400 milligrams per day. But never start without checking your diet and medications first. And a word of caution, Even a good vitamin, when overused, can cause harm. Too much magnesium can lead to irregular heartbeats, low blood pressure, or even confusion, especially in those with kidney issues. So, if you've ever been told you have chronic kidney disease or poor filtration, magnesium supplements may need to be reduced or avoided. That's why I always advise, don't follow generic YouTube advice blindly. Your kidneys, medications, and current blood work matter more than any trending supplement. Now, food first is still the best strategy. Avocados, almonds, pumpkin seeds, leafy greens, and black beans, all excellent sources. But because soil depletion has reduced magnesium in our food, supplementing, smartly, may become necessary. Magnesium can quietly transform your life: better sleep, fewer leg cramps, calmer mind, stronger heartbeat. So yes, take it seriously, but take it wisely, because the next vitamin we're about to talk about is one your body can't even make on its own, and deficiency in it has been tied to fatigue, depression, and even a 30% higher risk of death in older adults. Let's talk about vitamin D3. Let me be very honest with you. Most seniors I see in my clinic are walking around with dangerously low vitamin D3 levels, and they have no idea. You might think, well, I take a multivitamin. I go outside sometimes. But here's the hard truth. After 60, your skin loses the ability to convert sunlight into vitamin D effectively, even if you live in sunny states like Florida or Arizona. And the consequences? They're not just about weak bones. Low vitamin D3 has been linked to fatigue, muscle weakness, poor immunity, depression, increased risk of falls, higher mortality from all causes. Yes, all causes. In fact, a major European study showed that seniors with healthy D3 levels had a 36% lower risk of death. That's not small. Now, the video makes a strong point here. Vitamin D3 is vital. But here's where it goes too light. It's not enough to say, take vitamin D3. What you really need to understand is this. D3 is not just a vitamin. It's a hormone that your body needs to function, especially after 65. It supports your immune system's ability to fight off viruses and bacteria, your brain's cognitive stability, memory, focus, and even mood, your bones' ability to absorb calcium properly, and, most importantly, your ability to stay strong and independent. But here's the problem I see all the time. Many supplements only contain 400 to 800 IU, which is far too low for most older adults. Worse, many seniors take D3 without any healthy fats, meaning their body absorbs very little. Let's fix that. What's the right amount? For most seniors, 1,000 to 2,000 IU per day is a safe and effective dose. If your blood levels are very low, under 30 nanograms per milliliter, your doctor might recommend even higher doses for a short time. And here's the key. Always take D3 with a meal that contains healthy fat, like olive oil, avocado, or fish, to maximize absorption. And choose D3, cholecalciferol, not D2. D3 is what your skin produces naturally, and it works better. And if you're still unsure, just get a simple blood test. It can tell you exactly where your vitamin D stands. One test, one number. And it could save your strength, your clarity, even your life. Let me leave you with this. When vitamin D is low, you're not just tired. Your cells are tired. Your muscles slow down, your brain gets foggy, and your immune system goes silent. So don't let a silent deficiency rob you of your golden years. Coming up next, a vitamin that works deep in your brain and nerves, yet most seniors don't absorb it well, even when they eat right. And deficiency in it can look just like early dementia. Yes, we're talking about vitamin B12. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever forgotten where you put your keys? Felt your legs weaker than they used to be? Or noticed a strange tingling in your hands or feet? Most seniors chalk that up to just getting older. But sometimes it's not age. It could be a vitamin B12 deficiency slowly robbing you from the inside out. And here's the twist. Even if you eat plenty of meat, dairy, or eggs, you still might not be absorbing enough. Why? Because after 60, your stomach stops producing enough acid to extract B12 from food. Even worse, many common medications, like antacids, metformin, or blood pressure drugs, block B12 absorption even further. And that's why I see so many patients with symptoms like brain fog, balance issues, muscle weakness, pins and needles in the hands or feet, and even signs that look just like early Alzheimer's. And no one thinks to test for B12. They just assume, oh, this is aging. But it's not. It's fixable. Now here's where the original video gets it right. Vitamin B12 is critical. But once again, they miss some essential details. Not all B12 is created equal. There are two forms you should know. Methylcobalamin, the natural active form your body uses directly. Cyanocobalamin, synthetic, cheaper, and often used in low-quality multivitamins. If you're going to supplement, and you probably should, I always recommend methylcobalamin. And dosage? For seniors over 65, the ideal range is 500 to 1,000 micrograms per day, especially if you're not absorbing well through food. And here's a secret from my own clinical experience. Sublingual B12, those little lozenges you melt under the tongue, bypasses the stomach entirely and works far better for seniors than tablets you swallow. Better yet, it's safe. Vitamin B12 is water-soluble, so if your body doesn't need it, it just flushes out the excess. But trust me, most seniors are running low, not high. Still unsure? A simple blood test, serum B12 or MMA, can reveal the truth. And once corrected, I've seen dramatic turnarounds. Mental clarity returns, numbness fades, walking becomes steadier, energy comes back. It's like watching someone get 10 years younger, not from a drug, but from a missing nutrient. So before you accept foggy thinking or shaky balance as part of aging, ask this: could it be B12? Next up, we're diving into the most powerful anti-aging nutrient almost everyone is missing, and it's not even a vitamin. It's the one that builds your brain, calms your heart, and adds years to your life. Yes, omega-3 fatty acids. If there's one supplement I wish every senior would consider after 65, it's this. Not a trendy herb, not some overpriced powder, but something far simpler and far more powerful. Omega-3 fatty acids, especially EPA and DHA. Now, I know some of you may already be taking fish oil, but let me ask you, are you taking the right kind, at the right dose, in the right form for your body to absorb? Because here's what I see all the time in my clinic. Seniors taking cheap omega-3s with low EPA-DHA content, or worse, omega-3 blends, filled with plant oils that barely help the heart or brain. Let me tell you what the science says. Your brain, it's made of nearly 60% fat, and DHA is a major building block. When DHA is low, memory slips, focus fades, and mood declines. When DHA is restored, something beautiful happens. Clarity comes back, sleep improves, even anxiety lessens. Your heart? EPA keeps your blood vessels flexible, your rhythm steady, and inflammation in check. A 2021 study from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed over 42,000 adults. Those with higher blood levels of omega-3 had a 36% lower risk of death from all causes. Let that sink in, all causes. And in another major study, omega-3s reduced the risk of fatal heart attacks in seniors by over 45%. These aren't small numbers. This is real life-changing potential. Now here's where the original video hit a strong point. Yes, most seniors are deficient. Over 68% of older adults don't get enough, simply because they don't eat enough fatty fish. But here's where they leave you guessing. They don't tell you how to supplement safely and effectively. So let's break it down. How to choose the right omega-3. Look for supplements that contain at least 1,000 milligrams of combined EPA plus DHA per day. If you have heart disease or chronic inflammation, you may need 2,000 milligrams or more under medical supervision. Always choose products that are tested for purity, free from mercury, PCBs, and other toxins. Go for the triglyceride form, not ethyl ester. Your body absorbs it better. Take it with meals, especially those containing fat. Absorption improves dramatically. And if you're vegan or allergic to fish, consider algae-based omega-3. It's DHA-rich and effective. What about side effects? If you're using high-quality omega-3s, the most you might notice is a mild, fishy aftertaste. To avoid that, refrigerate the capsules and take them just before a meal. One of my patients, Henry, age 72, came to me with brain fog, joint stiffness, and fatigue. He thought it was just aging. We ran labs and found his omega-3 index was dangerously low. 3 months after starting high-dose, purified omega-3s, his mind was sharper, his joints less stiff. His energy? Night and day. He said, "Doc, I feel like myself again." That's what the right nutrient in the right form can do. Because omega-3s don't just help you live longer, they help you stay you longer. So before you buy another bottle of multivitamins that promises too much and delivers too little, ask yourself, am I giving my brain, heart, and joints the support they truly need? And if not, maybe it's time to start. Because after 65, you don't just want to live, you want to live well. Let's pause for a moment. Look at your vitamin shelf, the bottles, the labels, the promises. How many of them were chosen out of habit? How many were picked because someone online said, "This helps with energy," or "That protects your heart"? Now, ask the deeper question. Do they truly serve your body at this stage of life, or could they be silently working against you? Because here's the truth I've seen after 40 years of working with older adults. More supplements don't mean more health. Smarter choices mean everything. Your body at 65 is not the same as it was at 35. It doesn't absorb, filter, or repair the same way. It's wiser, more experienced, but also more sensitive. And some vitamins, the wrong ones, in the wrong doses, can slowly chip away at your strength, your memory, and your joy, without you even knowing. But here's the hope. You can start fresh, today, by letting go of the 4 most dangerous vitamins for seniors, by embracing the 4 nutrients that truly support your heart, brain, and muscles, and by listening to your body more than you listen to loud labels or loud influencers. Because at this stage of life, you don't have time to waste chasing false promises. You deserve clarity. You deserve strength, and you deserve to feel like you again. I know many of you watching have struggled with fatigue, with memory lapses, with joint pain or digestion. You've wondered, is this just aging? Sometimes, yes, but sometimes it's avoidable. So take a moment today to reevaluate. Flip that supplement bottle over, look at the ingredients, ask questions, talk to someone who cares. You are not too old to make a change. You are not too late to protect your future. And if you found something eye-opening in this video, something that made you say, "Wait, I didn't know that," leave a comment, tap the like button, share this with a friend or parent who might need it, and hit subscribe, because we're not done yet. This is just the beginning. Every week I'll be here, not to sell you fear or fads, but to walk with you, to speak truth, and to help you age with power and peace. Because you still have chapters to write, and I want you to write them strong.